It's obviously not the first time you're doing a Coen Brothers movie.
Fourth time.
What kind of roles does Joel write for you?
Idiots. Now here's the problem. They'll send me a script and they'll say, we wrote this with you in mind. And then I read it and I'm an idiot every single time. And I think that's all they think of me is the idiot.
Is there such a thing as a typical Coen Brothers comedy, a certain defining humor?
I don't know, they do such different films. I mean, the beauty of the Coen Brothers is that they can change genres on a dime. You know, they do horrible, dark films and then big, funny, broad comedies. I suppose the one thing is that they're always very sort of eccentric, character-driven pieces. You know, they're all, if you watch The Big Lebowski or any of those characters, they're so big and long. You know, John Goodman screaming at the top of his lungs. So there is an element that there's nothing small about what they do. There's no subtle humor, you know.
You've tackled communism in a very serious way in Good Night and Good Luck.
Yes.
This is a comedy, so what's your relationship with that era and with the 50s?
It seems that now I'm very pro-communist. I was very against it during the McCarthy era, but it seems that I've changed my ways. You know, it was fun to do a comedy about something that I've dealt with such serious, you know, with such a serious subject matter before. But it's also fun because, you know, who but, you know, an idiot actor could fall for the whole act that he was getting from the communists at the time. So I think it's fun.
Was there anybody specific that you that inspired your character?
Well, I liked, I watched all the movies. If you watch all of those old Sandal movies, you know, you can watch Ben-Hur and you could watch The Robe. But I really fell in love, like in Samson and Delilah with Victor Mature, because he just seemed like he didn't really want to be there anymore. He felt like he was an old movie star who would rather be out on the golf course. And he's got, you know, dyed jet black hair. And I've always been a fan of Victor Mature as a person. And in some of his movies, he's been wonderful. But particularly in this one, he just made me laugh all along. So I sort of fashioned it after Victor Mature.
Is there something special about 50s movies in general that I know you were a big fan of certain films that were made at that time?
I am a big fan of them. You know, I'm more of a fan of the films of the mid-'60s to the early '70s. I think that's our best era of filmmaking. And people argue about the late 1930s, 39 particularly. But I think more in terms of the auteur filmmakers in the mid-'60s and early '70s. I find it to be the most invigorating kind of filmmaking. Having said that, there is something amazing about Technicolor and watching, you know, big, old, you know, giant movies. You know, when you see these movies then, you watch Lawrence of Arabia and realize that there's nothing digital in that. So all those people were real, everything in that's real. Those giant shots were all done real. There's something amazing about that.
Thank you.
Thank you.